Everyone, welcome to your market update. My name is Vinnie. This guy over here.
David Wright, thank you all for being here. We are so gracious for our millions of fans and your unrivaled support for us. And we just want to say that it's great to be appreciated because some days it's tough out there in the real estate world. You take a beating sometimes working for your clients.
Sometimes it does. And you know what? We take a beating, you take a beating. And so we're going to start it off the right way.
That
David
was
always knows
starting
that.
off the right way.
Starting out the
See
right
if I
way, giving you a
did.
chance to win $50. So this is the question for last week. Okay, how much did the least expensive home sell in Cardiff by the Sea so far this year? House, single family home. Okay,
I remember I went with 376.
662,000.
Ooh, a little off, a little off.
Little off. Okay, now that gets you primed. Okay, for how much is the most expensive single family home sell in Borrego Springs so far this year? Borrego Springs, Anza Borrego, so it's east. So something to think about. Okay, how much of the most expensive single family homes sell in Borrego Springs so far this year?
I actually got to chime in on this one because I just actually did a loan for a famous person in Borrego Springs. And when I mean famous, it wasn't Vinny. So I know a lot of
Who
you out
who,
there are going to
who was the
automatically
famous?
assume
It's
it
just
was
us
Vinny.
talking.
So that was at 1.5 million.
Who was the famous person?
I'm actually not allowed to say they're on TV quite a bit. They're on news networks everywhere, and they also used to be directly in the White House. But they
Oh my!
bought in Borrego Springs, Vinny, because they wanted a getaway where no one would bother them. And I said, well, that's Borrego, my friend.
I'll give you one guess. I bet you it's Big Bird.
No, but Oscar the Grouch was in a close second running, but he couldn't. He was making trashy offers all the time, Vinny. Just all the
Ah,
time, trashy offers.
all right. Well,
Ha
let's get
ha
to
ha.
let's get to rates. How are rates looking there?
I mean, today was actually. I know some of you may have heard of a rap song before. Today was a good day. Well, today was a good day. That was by Ice Cube, for those of you who don't know. But today was actually a good day. Things actually recovered a little bit better than anticipated. And that's kind of surprising because you know the news that we got last week about tapering and the job numbers that came out on Friday, absolutely fabulous. And it was a very interesting day today. So overall, let's take a look at a bigger picture. It's FHAVA still below 3%. For those of you that want to get in and use them. But your high balance stuff, that's where most of your market in San Diego is. And if you get a 740 FICO or up, you're at 3 1/8. That's not bad. Like overall, big picture, that is not a bad deal. And other than that, your conforming stuff, which is at the moment 548, 250 and lower. But if you saw an update today that I put out, the new loan limits going up. And so look for being able to get better rates with higher loan amounts starting now. And then jumbo paper, a majority of that's at 3.25 APR, 3.31405. So overall, still amazing. Do I anticipate it trickling up? Yes, you're going to see it start trickling up. Beware, the Fed is going to taper $10 billion a month in buying. I said billion, right, Vinny?
You did say billion. Billion like
That's right.
a barbecue.
Yes, I meant billion, not like the Austin Powers movie where the guy says $1 million. That wouldn't even to be anything today. I meant B as in billion. So, take it at a grain of salt. Things are changing. If you think you're going to hang on out there and wait for rates to plummet, not happening, my friends. The economy is recovering, and things are going to start changing.
Now let's talk about the real estate market. All right, active property still under, which is good. Still above the 2,000. I mean, relatively good. Not good if we were talking about a couple months back. Pending properties have trickled down, so that's positive, right? So the margins, yes, less inventory, but it's also a slower market. It just means it's not as crazy as a market. But yeah, across the board, nothing too drastic. The coming soons have been kind of pretty much the same. If you haven't been at least looking at the coming soons and kind of assessing what that is, talk to your realtor. At least give you some kind of insight into what's going to be hitting the market. There's 112 properties as coming soon. I did look too to see. People always ask me, okay, foreclosures. There's only been 72 foreclosures in San Diego County so far this month. So we need a lot more of those kind of properties, especially when we're talking about we're at 2,100 properties on the market. We were about 3,000 a couple months back, and we were about 7,000 a couple of years back. So
you said 72, Vinny?
72.
So for those of you out there, just take 72 and then divide it by the number of properties on the market, and you will see how low the inventory is for foreclosures.
Yeah, so we'll need a lot more of those. It is the holiday time of year. I still think the demand is pretty good compared to even where it was a couple months ago. It's still a good market if you're looking to sell. So I could see that 21 number get under 2,000 before January when we start seeing more properties come on the market, unless rates do go up, like David's been talking about. But I do see that number keep going farther and farther down over the next couple of months.
Yeah, that is as you head closer to Thanksgiving, and Vinny, I think we're gonna. I can't read.
Manuel, he loves it. He's chiming in. You know what I'd really like to know from David? Ed's video.
Is what?
Manuel, he's caught on to our little game that we've been doing. You know what I'd really like to know from David? And then just turns off the video.
Oh man. Well, you know what? Once upon a time, I mean, anyway. So, but everything aside, people, let's just realize that the giant wave of listings that everyone keeps saying is coming, it's not coming.
The thing is, you really have to watch. If you didn't watch us last week, really, if you're looking to buy in Carlsbad and you can qualify for the affordable housing properties there, you should really look into that. November 19th is a big date for that. November 19th. So really be aware of that because that could be a huge factor. If you weren't here last week watching that, watch last week to get more information about that. But November 19th, a day you should remember. It can really help you out or help one of your friends out. And things happen for a reason, right? You have to be open and aware of them when they do come about. And sometimes, I know we said it before, when something sounds too good to be true, it's probably not true, right? And you have to be willing to have a trusted resource on your side to vet whatever that might be to see if it might be true. Because there are things that pop up all the time for us that go, oh my gosh, like again, we talked about it before. There was a program that David was not too aware of, and I wasn't too aware of until I started looking into it. And then we realized, oh my gosh, this is a possibility right there. It seemed really out of right field, right? But it was something in the end. So have a trusted resource on your side to actually know if that's real.
It was, Vinny, like you said, it was out of right field, but it was actually right there.
Yeah. So,
you
know what? Sorry, what I want to
I just wanted to add one more thing. I saw a bunch more data come out, like Black Knight data that came out that was basically saying that they're still projecting the real estate market in San Diego to go up 9.9%